there's only one other hole you could stick a tampon in. So you're telling me you stuck a tampon in your butt to slicken it up? Hey guys, it's Sharon. It is the end of the month, so that means this is one of two videos, and obviously by the title it's kind of been spoiled for you. So today we're talking about your first time using a tampon horror stories. I don't know what part we're at. Every single month at the end of the month I upload period horror stories videos, right? I like to shake it up a bit. Sometimes it's like your first period, your period horror stories at school, your period horror stories, I don't know, during spring break, your first time using a tampon horror story. So I don't know if we're at like part 3 of tampons and specifically maybe 4 or 5. I don't know, man. There is lots of period content on my channel, so if you want to binge more, definitely make sure to feel free to. I have an all about periods playlist, which is like tips, tricks, hacks, stories, all that good stuff. And then I have my period horror stories playlist where you can find this one, and honestly you can find just a lot of period stuff. It's kind of my thing. So if you want to see more, give us a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below. Also make sure you follow my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok so you haven't seen my videos, get a chance to be in them, and also get to be a shout out of the day. Now if you want to see more, make sure you are subscribed and your post notifications are turned on so you're the first one here and you get to say you were the first one here. That being said, go grab your snacks, go grab your tea and your tampons, because we're not going to be afraid of tampons anymore. And let's get into this. I had a panic attack in the bathroom trying to put it in, and when I finally did, let's just say that's the day I realized I was lesbian. Home sis had something go up in her hoo-ha and she was like, yeah, no, I don't like things going up in there. I don't know how it's gonna work out with a boy. I'm good. At least you tried a tampon, and that's what matters. I'm not saying you have to go out and try a tampon. I'm just saying that you use whatever period product is comfortable for you, but don't be afraid to find and try new period products, because you might learn that you like one more than the other. Or in this case, you might realize that you don't like one more than the other and you actually despise it, and then you might actually find out that your sexuality is actually incorrect all this time. But the point is, you tried it and you learned. I put one up when my flow wasn't very heavy, so it was quite dry down there. I forced it in and was in a lot of pain, so my mom took me to the hospital and found out I ripped my vagina a bit. Oh my god. I didn't even know you could rip your vagina a bit. I don't want to find out how you can rip your vagina a bit. That sounds like the most painful thing ever. You know what sounds really painful? Like a paper cut in your vagina. I don't know why I just thought about that, but like, yeah, no, I'm good, sis. That pain, And this is why it is so important to only use tampons when you're bleeding a lot. If it's like your first day of your period and you're not bleeding that much, don't use a tampon. If you're gonna use a tampon, use like a light or maybe even like a regular. But like there are so many different type of tampon sizes, and there's like light, there's regular, there's super. I think there's super or extra super or something. I think there's like 4 or 5. But I'm just saying it is so important to pick the right size for your flow, because if your tampon is dry, it will hurt to take out. And that's why it's also important to not practice putting a tampon in. Don't do it. Here's hoping none of us ever get a ripped vagina. I got my friend to stick it in for me and they cut the string off. So something tells me this friend had no idea what they were doing, and this friend has probably never used a tampon, but somehow knew how to stick it in, so good for them. But yeah, spoiler alert, you don't cut the string off, because the string is how you get the tampon out. Simply just tuck it in the lips, tuck it forward, tuck it backward. Do not stick the string up there, because you can't find the string up there, and then you can't get your tampon out of there, and then you have to go to the doctor, or you have to use tweezers, or basically you're just screwed. So don't cut it off. Thanks. I was terrified to use a tampon, but then a few months after I got my period, I was going to camp with water activities. So I sat in the bathroom for like an hour because I wasn't gonna miss out. I finally worked up the courage to put the tampon in and realized it wasn't that bad. Literally though, it really is not that bad. Of course, I've been there, done that. I had to put in my first tampon in once, and was it a little bit nerve-wracking? Yeah, but it wasn't like the end of the world, you know? Oh my god, my hair's uneven. Can you stay back there? It really isn't that bad, and the more stressed you make yourself and the more nervous you get, the harder it's gonna be to stick your tampon in, because you're actually like clenching down there. So if you're clenching, you can't stick anything up there. You get what I'm saying? I have a video that I'd say is pretty good, not to toot my own horn, about how to put in a tampon. So it's very detailed, explains everything without actually showing it, because then, you know, I would be in jail for showing my hoo-ha on the internet to a bunch of people, including possibly minors. So just saying, might want to go check that out for some help. I've said this before, before, and I'm saying it again, do not let a tampon scare you. You scare the tampon. I got my period for the first time 2 days before a school camping trip, and I forgot to pack anything, so my friend gave me a tampon. I didn't know how to use one, so my friend called all 7 girls into the tent to show me how to use it, and I had to put it with 7 girls in there. Their backs were turned, but still. I love this though. This is so like wholesome and so great. And if there is one thing that can always unite girls or just menstruators, it is your period, because we all know the struggle. You could be like Britney Spears, you could be Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, you're the most famous person in the world, you have all the privilege ever. When it comes down to it, you still have a period, and so do I. And when you need a tampon, I got you. And when I need a tampon, you got me. Like, we just automatically got each other's backs when it comes to the period. So I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about having like 7 friends there helping you put in a tampon. It's just such a sweet, wholesome moment where it's like, girl, we got you. This is how you do it. You just gotta you're all good to go. So if it's how you learn, it's how you learn, and it is a great bonding experience that you will always remember. I almost shoved it up my pee hole. Never used one after that day. So I give this lesson every time I talk about tampons, or anytime I'm talking about your downstairs area. So you have 3 holes there, right? You have your pee hole. So yes, this person, good job, you know your pee hole. You have your vagina, which is the hole you actually stick the tampon in. And then you have your butthole. You don't stick the tampon in there. So your pee hole is so small that it is pretty much impossible to get a tampon in your pee hole. So I'm not sure what hole you were trying to stick it in, but my guess is that you were trying to stick it into your vagina hole where it's supposed to go, but maybe you were too clenched, maybe you were nervous, because the only other hole you could actually put it in is your butthole. And when I say you'll be able to tell it's your butthole, you'll be able to tell because it feels like you're pooping backwards. So can't stick a tampon in your pee hole, contrary to popular belief, which is why you can pee while having a tampon in, because they're coming from different holes. I tried using a tampon for the first time, and I thought I had put it in right, and I was wearing shorts, and I don't think I put it in correctly because the tampon fell out of the side of my shorts and I was out in public. You imagine you're just walking down the street having the time of your life, and you just see a bloody tampon just flat out fall out of someone's shorts. Oh my, what do you do? Do you tell them? Do you just look at it and just walk away, pretend it never happened? How does a tampon just fall out? I've never had a tampon just fall out of me. That is so crazy to me. Like, the only way I could see this happening is if you barely stuck the tip of the tampon inside you and then it just kind of falls out. How is your underwear not holding it in there? Like, are you going commando, sis? And this is why we wear underwear when we're wearing tampons, just in case they magically just slip out of there. When I went to take it out, it got stuck on my hymen and I had to go to the hospital. The worst thing was the doctor was our family friend and I have to see him all of the time. I did not know I could get stuck on a hymen, so good to know. Number 2, I get the convenience of a family friend being the doctor. You get a little bit of benefits, you're comfortable with your doctor, you know them. This is too comfortable for my liking, mainly because this is a family friend that I have to see often, and I would not like to have that person seeing my vagina. Thank you very much. That reminds me, y'all, the first time I visited a gyno, my mom took me to a gyno who was a man. Already I'm so uncomfortable just because it's like, you don't have a vagina, sir. Aside from that, it was an older man, and it was the man who helped my mother deliver me. So this man saw me brought into this earth as a tiny little baby, and then like 18 years later he's staring down my vagina holes. No thank you. I immediately changed gynos. I left there and I literally found a new one. I was like, thanks mom, thanks for nothing. That was the weirdest experience ever. I put it in backwards and had to use tweezers to get it out. How do you put in a tampon backwards? Y'all are really like surprising me with all the different ways you're putting in a tampon wrong, when I'm like, there's only like maybe one way to put it in wrong. If it has an applicator, which an applicator is the little plastic part with the stick, right? It could be plastic or it could be cardboard. Either way, there's a stick that you push the tampon in, right? And that's how you release the tampon from the applicator inside your vagina. How do you insert it backwards? Unless there isn't an applicator and it's just a flat out tampon with no applicator and you put it string side first. Girl, who's supposed to pull the string? Your tummy? Your lower intestine is supposed to just pull the string. Listen, you're new, you're learning, but you think it'd be common sense? All I can picture is like putting the applicator in and then like hitting the end of your wall and it just pushing the tampon out and the tampon just falls out. Just nowhere where it's supposed to be. My friend told me I had to stick it in both holes first. She said to stick it in hole number 1 to slicken it up, then stick it in hole number 2. It worked. What worked? Because as mentioned, there's only one other hole you could stick a tampon in. So you're telling me you stuck a tampon in your butt to slicken it up? I don't know about you, but like, it's pretty dry back there. So I'm not sure how slicken up it's getting. What hole, dude? Your mouth? Your nose? I'm so confused. I don't know how this worked, but spoiler alert, it doesn't work because there's no other hole to stick it in. Says your friend lied to you. I spent 30 minutes trying to put the tampon in. I went back to class and my very strict male teacher started asking me why it took so long. I just looked at him and said, learning how to put in a tampon for the first time is not a quick process. He never questioned me using the washroom for any amount of time after that. This is my favorite thing ever. It's when nosy teachers get up all in your business and they're like, why'd you take so long in the bathroom, huh? Why do you need to go to the bathroom? I'm in the middle of a lesson. You can't go to the bathroom, just hold it. So here's the thing. I have this, I don't know if you've ever heard about it, this thing called a period where I bleed, blood comes out of my body and I cannot control it. So quite frankly, if I'm in the bathroom for 40 minutes putting in a tampon or pooping, it's none of your business. Why do they want to know so badly? It's weird. Also, asking for permission to go to the bathroom. It is so weird. What are we, barbarians? But that's my hot take. If you want to make your teacher feel awkward about questioning about your period, please do it. It is my favorite thing in the world and they will shut up and never bother you about it again. Being my stupid self, I didn't think I'd need the instructions, so I put it in sideways. It freaking hurt. How? How do you put in a tampon sideways? Like hot dog style? If you're just literally just grabbing it and putting it between the lips, hot dog style, how does that hurt? I don't understand what you did, and I especially don't understand how you put in a tampon sideways to the point where it hurt a lot, because I don't know how. How are you guys doing this? Where are you sticking it? Y'all, you're making me lose hope right now. Literally, everyone that is watching this video, please go watch my how to put in a tampon video immediately, because I don't know how you could put it in sideways, backwards, upside down, whatever the heck you're doing, and your other second hole to slicken it up that doesn't exist. This is why periods are a topic that need to be taught in school and talked about and not be so taboo, because we really don't know what we're doing out here. I was trying to put my tampon in for the first time and I had my leg up on the counter, so blood everywhere. I forgot to lock the door and my younger brother walked in. I always say one thing, and it's in like a lot of my like secret videos mainly. If you're gonna get down and dirty, always lock the door, right? So this applies when you're in the bathroom, you know, and you got your leg up on the counter and blood is just flowing right out of you, because you might end up traumatizing some people. You imagine being an 8-year-old boy, happy as can be, you're playing your Nintendo Switch, you gotta go to the bathroom, you go to pee, and you just see a bloody coochie. And now you're like, oh my god, my sister's dying. And then you're stuck with the thought of your sister's bloody coochie for the rest of your life. Lock your doors, y'all. And wipe down the counter too. I tried using a tampon a couple of times and it never worked, even though I did it right. I was so confused on why it wouldn't go in. I could fit the back of a razor up there. When I finally got a tampon in and went to change it, I ripped the lining of my vagina and had to get stitches. I know it sounds very painful, getting stitches on your vagina, in your vagina, whatever. Ouch. Big ouch. But I cannot stop thinking about how this person was like, I don't know how my tampon doesn't fit. I stick the back of my razor in there. What are you doing with the back of your razor in there, sis? I am so sorry for your stitch up vagina. I really am. I guess lesson here is pool softly. My boyfriend invited me to his house to swim in the pool and I was on my period, so I said I couldn't. He asked how I can stop the blood and I said a tampon, but I don't really use them. He called out for his mom and the next thing I knew, my pants were off and his mom was opening a tampon wrapper. I told them that I didn't want to, but she ignored me and just shoved it up there anyway. I was so shocked and tried to get it out, but accidentally pushed the string up further. I was so grossed out, I barfed all over my boyfriend and his mom. I then had to go to the hospital to get the tampon removed. Long story short, he and I are no longer together. Good. Because the thing that bothered me most about this story is, where's the consent? Home sis blatantly, obviously, multiple times said she did not want to do it and she did not feel comfortable do it, and they still did it. So honestly, they deserved vomit and a little bit more. They deserved everything, and I hope they also got the hospital bill, because listen, if I tell you I don't want a tampon inside me and you're shoving a tampon inside me, I'm gonna throw up on you, I'm gonna kick you, I'm gonna punch you, I'm gonna pass out on you, and I'm gonna stick you with my hospital bill, and I might sue you after too. Maybe that's just me. This is why consent is important. It is 2022, mom, and boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, trashy boyfriend. So the trash literally, well, the trash didn't take itself out. The trash got barfed on and then you took the trash out. But whatever, you get what I'm saying. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. Make sure to also comment down your first time using a tampon horror story. I am very curious. I didn't know there were so many ways to put in a tampon incorrectly, but alas, here we are, learning a new incorrect way every single day. Shout out of the day goes to Haley. Thank you so, so much. If you'd like to be shout out of the day, just follow me on my Instagram and stay active. And if you'd like to see more period horror stories, I have a playlist literally titled Period Horror Stories. You can binge every single video I have ever uploaded about your, spoiler alert, period horror stories. And I also have my All About Periods playlist that's like tips, tricks, hacks, all that good stuff. And if there is any specific video that you want to see from me, make sure to definitely request it as well, and that you are subscribed and your post notifications are turned on so you do not miss an upload and you're the first one here. But all that being said, I will see you guys next month with a new period horror story, but I will also see you next time with a new video. Bye!